And we are live. So good evening, everyone. This is TakeMeAway client meeting with Shafiq, Patrick, and Thomas. How are you guys doing?
Great.
It's
Good, thank you.
been a very long holidays for everyone. We've been back for some time now.
Yeah, I hope everyone had some good summer as well.
Well, we tried.
Yes.
We tried as much as we could, but we had to keep going on some of the tasks we had to do. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
which is what we want to show you today.
perfect.
Right, so I assume you can all see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Let me stop taking so long. Okay, the same drill. We're gonna go over each and every story, and then Shafiq, I'll just do a demo of the intended feature, and if you like it, you accept. If you're not happy with it, you tell me, and then we'll reject the story and rework on that. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So the first one that I have in the list here is the stock inventory. So we needed a way to for a restaurant owner, in order to manage and limit the capacity, I want to limit the quantity of menu items that can be ordered in a given day. So for every item that we had, you needed to be able to like assign a specific set of available quantity for that specific day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, if I remember this, okay. Was it admin at TMA? Okay, so I'm just gonna head over to the menu and just create today's Tuesday, start date is today, and date is today. Okay, so essentially what we needed to be able to do was to set the daily stock for this item, for instance. Click and remove. So we add 25, and we can add another one, and we have 10 of those, and then we create the menu. Oh. Okay, so let's remove this one and get back to that. Must not be earlier than the start date, which is fair enough. December, wow. Let's go September 1st. September 1st. Create that. Okay, so we've got a menu for Tuesday that was created, and then we have this item, and the daily stock is 25. So this was what we needed to be able to do for the story here. Add a field that, and then it was done. So yeah, that was it for the story. Okay, pretty straightforward story, I guess.
Yeah.
So can move forward with that. Adding quantity to. What did I just accept? Are these stories similar, Patrick? Looks like it. Oh, I think this was related to the API call. Am I correct, Thomas?
Wait, I can't really see the story right now. What does it say?
Add quantity to order menu items. As a restaurant owner, so that I can do inventory on menu items, I would like to have quantity added to order/menu items. I think that was the API call.
That's probably the API, I think. Is it marked with front end in any way, or?
Just has backend.
Oh, seems like the previous story actually.
Yeah, pretty much the same story.
But who worked on it, and why is it there?
You worked on it. That's why I'm guessing it's the API call.
Yeah.
Because we had to add that to the admin dashboard, and we also needed to expose that to
Yeah.
the API. So I'm
So
guessing
it's
that's the
probably
API.
API.
Yeah. V1 menus. Yeah, I think it's the APIs. Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of the API calls, it's always hard to, I mean, it's always hard to showcase that and
Yeah.
ask
Okay.
for acceptance from the client because it's like a JSON response. So it can be, rather hard for a non-technical person to assess whether this is actually doing what it's supposed to do. So Shafiq just gonna have to take our word for it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's perfect.
Next one on the card was this one about as a customer of the restaurant, when I place an order online, I should receive a confirmation that the order has been received by the restaurant. Okay. So showcase that we are sending those emails. TMA. I'm gonna quickly place an order from the front end, and we'll see that we get an email from the application. Okay, so okay, that's fine. So menu. I'm just gonna add this to cart. Array. This is checkout. What? What is it? No. Password. So we register. That's fine. Next, we proceed to the order. And we place the order. Okay, so at this stage, the order was placed, and okay, so I don't know if you can see the Shafiq. We've set up a demo system to sort of like catch all the email that are sent through the system. So you can see here, this email here, takeaway order confirmation receipt, was sent a few seconds ago to dirolo@example.com, which is the username that I just created now on the system. Okay. So if I click on that one, you'll see that this is the email that the client will receive, the customer will receive, saying, "Hey, your order for takeaway food was received and will be picked up at this time." Okay, and we sort of like show him what item he ordered. Okay, so pretty straightforward email there. So that's for the confirmation when he places an order on the website. Okay. So that was the whole point for this feature right here. Okay. The reason why we have this set up is so that we don't spam each other's with test emails, actually. Okay.
Yep.
So we all good on this one?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to excuse myself, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Daisy. Good luck.
Ciao, Thomas.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, the next one says maintain notification email addresses in database. So we send email to kitchen and customer when an order is received and successfully saved to the database. Currently, the default from and to for the kitchen email address are hard written. Okay. These need to be accessed from the DB database and maintained with the AA. Essentially, this. Okay, I think this was done. What we needed to do in this case is be able to, you see, in the kitchen when somebody places an order, you want to receive a notification, right, via email that somebody placed an order. Okay. So with the story, we needed to be able to manage who can receive those emails from this admin dashboard. Okay. So we had to add the possibility for you, the administrator of the site, to create a user. This could be your kitchen or maybe an external user who needs to receive such notifications.
Yep.
Then you give it email address and password. Okay. So you can set here if the user is an admin, which means he can have access to this panel here, or if he should receive notifications, for instance. Okay. Notification when an order is placed to via the system. This would be, for instance, a kitchen. Okay. And this email here, this last bit here is to specify if this is the email address that the user, the customer should see. If you look at this one here, it shows that the email was sent from this email address. That's because in the system we've set. I'm just going to create this user here. So if I go to admins and look for, yeah, you can see we have a user named kitchen with the email address. This. So we've set it to send order received email from this email address, for instance. Okay. So those are the two stuff that you can two functionalities that you can change from the admin panel. Okay. So that is pretty much all of it for the story. Have you got any questions so far? All good.
No, you're all good. It looks good.
Okay.
It's flowing.
If I could just interject as well on the admin that has the email address that we use to send the acknowledgement of the order receipt. In this case, the kitchen. That's important because if the customer then replies to that email, the reply will go to that email address. In this case, the kitchen. So you just want to be aware that that's your way of communicating post-order entry after the order has already been accepted. If they communicate via email, it'll be going to that kitchen address in this case.
Yeah, I think in a way this is good because after the order is placed, then it's a problem at the kitchen end, and if the customer needs to do some changes, then it's to be done directly to the kitchen.
That was the idea. Yep.
Yeah, that's good, I think. Yep.
Good. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept this story. Next one. Okay, I'll look at bugs later on this. Let's check the features. Add status attribute to menu item. As an admin, in order to simplify menu creation workflow, when I manage products, I would like to be able to set as active or disable. I mean, set an active or disable flag on each instances. Okay. This was for menu items. I'll go to products. Okay. Right away here, you can see this is the list of products that we have in the currently registered in the system. Okay, and the idea with the story was to let you set which one can be added to a menu or not, essentially, by marking them as active or inactive. So if a menu item is set as inactive, when you're creating a menu, you won't be able to see it in the list because it's not available for sale, for instance. Okay. And the way you do that is you edit here, and then right down here you can set the status of this item to inactive, for instance, and then you update. Okay, we'll get back to the story later on.
That's intersected with another story. Yeah. The idea here, though, Shafiq, is that if you have let's say you have seasonal items, so you create these menu items you want to sell during the summer, but for the rest of the year you don't want to sell the item, you just mark it as inactive, as opposed to deleting the item, and then you can bring it back next summer easily by making it active.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a very nice function, actually. Yep. Then you can have all of it in the database. Then you,
correct.
Time to time you change the menu, basically. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, you might be in the process of creating the menu, and then you don't want to publish it yet for use. You know, you can just mark it as inactive or something, and then you can get back to it later. So I was able to do that for this last item, which didn't belong to a menu. Okay. And if I go back to the product listing, you can see that this menu item is inactive. The name was DS something. Let me try and create the menu with that. Add item, it's not there. Let me go back there quickly and edit that to active. So let's create a new one here, add item. You see it appears now in the list here because it's active. Okay. So which means we can add it to this menu when we're creating the menu.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome. So that was it for the story. So we added the attribute and then that was refactored. Can accept that. Moving on. Okay, confirmation order to restaurant. So this is the email that gets sent to the kitchen. As part of the notification that was sent out earlier on, you can see this one here is the one that will be sent to the kitchen. Okay, and just says the order was received for TakeMeAway, and the order time is this, the pickup time is that, the customer is that. Here's the email address for the customer. He ordered X number of items, and you can see the item that was ordered. Okay.
Raul, while you're on this email, you can see that we're defaulting to order time is now, that the time the order was entered. And pickup time is also defaulting to now. I wonder if we want to default pickup time to 2 hours in the future or something like that.
Yeah, that's definitely something we could do. I don't know if defaulting is maybe the way. I'm not sure how the customers would interact with this one. How does it usually work, Shafiq? If let's say somebody orders online, how long will it take for the stuff to be ready, roughly?
Well, ideally, it takes like an hour. So there should be a gap of around 1 hour. But at the same time, if it is a lunch time, then it's already pre-cooked.
Okay.
It's ready for lunch. So say 30, 40, 50 portions. Then if the customer is placing the order until up to 50 portions, then we can deliver immediately. Okay. For example, that's why we had this option to choose, okay, what is the upper limit that we can take the order. So I would say it depends on if it is the lunch or it's outside the lunch time. So if it is lunch time, then it can be picked up immediately. If it is outside the lunch time, then maybe 1 to 1.5 hours.
Okay.
But is it possible to make it a flexible time here so that the customer can choose when to pick it up, or should it be automatically given?
Well, I
What
think
time
it shouldn't
the
be a hassle to have the customer set what time they want to pick, but then again, that means we need to sort of like restrict them in a specific time frame, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So then, since we are starting with the lunch time, for example, then we can restrict the pickup time between 11:30 to 1500, for example. So within that time frame, the customer can pick up his or her item. Or is that complicated? Because one thing I see is that if the customer he or she is receiving the confirmation email, which states when the order is placed, and it also states when he or she can pick it up.
Yeah, it does.
That gives the same time, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment it's defaulting to the same time.
Yeah.
It is defaulting to the same time.
Yeah.
Is it the same time? Yeah, it is the same time.
It's
Or
giving the
maybe,
same time. Yeah. How does the background look like for this message?
The background for
This time, where does it take this time from? So the order came at around 1916, and the pickup time is also 1916.
yeah. At the moment, that's what it does.
Okay.
Sets it to the same time.
Yeah. And which means somewhere in the program you have set the pickup time, right?
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah. So I was wondering if it should be exactly the same time, or there should be a small gap between these two.
So maybe a larger discussion, though, Shafiq, would be if you're going to have another organization build the front end for you. You remember you had talked about that when we first started this effort? In which case, if they're going to build the front end that actual customers would use, they could incorporate additional functionality like that into that front end client.
Okay, yeah, then we just keep it as it is, actually. We don't need to do anything in that segment.
Okay. If you can create an order in the admin console, generally you wouldn't do that, but you might do that because you want to create an order that somebody phones in, let's say, and you want to use the system to track all orders. In the admin console, you can specify the pickup time, and as long as it's later than the current time that you enter the order, the pickup time in the email confirmation will reflect that. It could be an hour, 2 hours away, whatever you put in there.
Okay, all right.
So the functionality on the back end is there. Right now, the front end is just not setting the pickup time when it sends the order to the back end. But if you have somebody build the front end for you, you could have them add that functionality.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Understood. It's good. That's good.
So, like, what it's saying is, if you come to the backend and you say create an order, you can set the order time and the pickup time for the order. That's if you're creating the order manually from the backend.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So.
All right. But back to the story. This one was just sending confirmation to the user. We got sidetracked with something else.
Okay.
So the confirmation has been sent correctly. Set up a termine. It's all done. That's all done. Then we can accept this. Okay. This next one says notify admin when creating conflicting menus. As an admin, when I create the menu, I would like to be notified of an existing menu on that same day, so that I don't create conflicting menus. Would you like me to clarify more on this story, Shafiq?
No, I think it's fine. It's great.
So
It's okay.
essentially,
Yep.
what we're trying to avoid here is a case where maybe you already have a menu for Tuesday that has a certain item, and then now let me just take it this way: you have a menu that's running throughout the entire week, a special menu, for instance, okay, and it has a specific item in it. And let's say you want to create the menu for Tuesday, for instance. Now, what we needed to be able to do is that if you try to add an item that belongs to that special menu, you should get notified like this, that this item is already included in an overlapping menu, which is the weekly special. So the weekly special already has this menu included in it. Okay. So and you creating a menu for Tuesday of the same week, adding the same item wouldn't be, well, appropriate.
So it will give a warning.
Yeah, you get this warning essentially, and then you won't be able to create the menu until you remove that item.
Yep. Okay. That's good.
Maybe Patrick wants to elaborate on that, since you're the one who worked on that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can have one, two, or more than two menus active on the same day. You just can't have the same menu item present in more than one menu on the same day. So it's very simple.
Yeah. Sounds logical. Yeah.
Okay. So that's good to go. Next one, limit the ability to delete menu items. Okay. As an admin, I want to make sure that I can produce accurate and complete sales report. Okay, Patrick had a comment saying that menu item generally cannot be deleted, since the client needs to be able to report sales for orders for up to 7 years in the past. So a menu item can be deleted only if, in the first scenario, it's not included in the current or future menu, or it has never been ordered before. Okay, so the bottom line for this feature was to prevent the deletion of any menu item that was part of a previous menu or is part of a current menu, because you will need to have those menu existing. Well, at least for now, we kind of like thought for generating the report later on, you will need to have those menu existing in order to keep track of, like, how many items of those menu were sold in the past or so.
Yep.
So
that's right. By law, we need to keep all this data for at least 5 years in Sweden.
yeah. So as you can see in the product listing now, we don't have the delete option available for these items, because they're either part of a current menu, or they were part of a previous menu initially.
Okay.
This last one here doesn't belong to a menu, for instance. So you can delete this one. And if I add another one quickly, active, and we create this menu item. So back to the product listing, we see that we can delete it. But if we go and create the menu, like there, right there, and then we add that last item we created with a stock of 10. When we create this menu item, if we go back to the product listing, it's no longer deletable. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
just a minor nuance. If an item is not part of a present menu, but it was part of a past menu, but it was never sold, then you can delete it.
Right.
Okay. Also, is it connected to this accounting part of it, if you will? And how the system will know that it has not been sold? Is it based on the information that it has never been ordered?
So
Yes, exactly. That's right.
yeah.
So we look at orders, and if it's never been included in a past order, then and it's not part of a current or future menu, then it's deletable.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So this one is also good to go. Okay. Those are the front-end stories. I'll come back to that if there's nothing else. Okay, I guess can move to the front end now. So the story was part of the front end application. So we needed to sort of like refine the order process from the customer point of view. So this one says, as a user, when I'm done adding items to my order, I would like to review them before I submit the order. So this menu item. Nothing? That's weird. Oh. Okay. Perhaps I should deal with this one. Okay. So we have that. Add the cart. Then I get this checkout this cart here before I proceed to checkout. Then I want to be able to view which items are part of my current order before I can place the order. And that was pretty much all of it. If I stick to the story here, okay. Yeah, I think there was. Yeah, that was all of it for this. Because from this point here, if you're not happy, you can go back to your cart and maybe change quantities or decide you want to add something else. Then when you're happy with it, you can then go ahead and place the order.
Yeah, perfect.
So by pushing this button here, we create the order in the backend system, and then all the notification email gets sent out.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
How many orders can be placed at the same time? If there is hypothetically there is a number of people trying to make an order at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is unlikely to happen, but might happen. Then is there any bandwidth issue or things like that?
Well, that will depend on, like, they can. Okay, technically they can't push the place order button at the same time, really. So all those orders will come one after another through the system, you see. And depending on what available stock there is when the order reaches the backend system, the order will either be created on the system or it will be rejected, and they will get a message saying that the order was rejected due to X, Y, Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if that sort of like answers you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So you can see we've just created this order, and you can see all the. This is the one that I just placed now with the
Mm-hmm.
2 item, and then it says that it's pending.
Okay.
So you as an admin, you can come and view the orders, and you know, or maybe
Is it possible to edit the order? I can
yes,
see
you
an
can.
edit button. Yeah.
You can edit the order. So if, let's say, for instance, the client calls you and says, "I want to change something. Maybe I want to remove this from my order." You can remove it or something,
Okay.
or
Okay.
you can change quantities. But I believe, Patrick, I think this might affect if, for instance, the client has paid for it already. How or we don't care about that at this stage.
I don't know if we do. I didn't work on the payment piece,
Mm.
so I'm not sure how actually that.
But I think in this case, these would be special cases, and I think you as the administrator of the shop will have to find a way to. Um, at this stage, I don't think we automatically handle the whole payment thing if you update the order from the back end.
We absolutely do not. You're right on
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
we don't do that. So if you decide to come and edit the order here, um, think that will be at this stage that will be up to you to see how to handle the payment front of it.
Okay, then that needs to be adjusted manually as well.
Yeah, it has to be handled manually. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But then you can do things like if maybe this order was processed already, you can come and change the status of this order to. Okay, so when you click on the button, it sends it in the processed list. There it is now. Okay. So this meant this order was processed and delivered to the client.
So when it is delivered, will there be a click button from the kitchen to ensure that it is delivered and it is
So at the moment when it's delivered, the only thing you can do is come to this orders listing and click on the button and say change status or mark as delivered.
okay. So that's kind
So
of
as soon as I click this, you will get the order. Um, it will change status to be processed now.
mm-hmm. This is admin page, right?
Yeah.
And the delivery will be done at the kitchen or somewhere else. And this pickup station, will they have a page where they can punch a button to tell the administrator that this is done, this is delivered?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it is, or it is on the table of the administrator here?
So at the moment, this is part of the administrative table.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yep.
at the moment. But look, that's something that's pretty simple to do through the API, I believe. If there is a need for that later on, maybe you have a small application that will be used solely by the kitchen staff to see what orders are coming in and what orders they're processing. As soon as they process, they could just click a button on that application, and then the information will be sent back to the administrative platform that we have here, and be marked as processed.
Okay. Yep.
So those are functionalities that can be added to the system very
Yep.
easily.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. So I think the next point is the payment. the payment integration. For this one, we use Stripe, as you know, because we couldn't. The other payment system didn't have a good platform for us developer to integrate with them. So
Okay, yeah.
we went ahead with Stripe,
So,
and yeah.
so did you manage to integrate this one?
Yes, we managed to
Stripe?
integrate this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
So if we come back to this order here, you can see this is the order that I placed. Okay, I just accepted that order. Let me quickly mark it as.
But how do you guys do the practice of payments? Is there any?
I'll show you now. So you can, I think with the demo you can enter just any number.
Okay.
5, 16, and it will go through. Because this is currently in a demo stage, so we can enter anything.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm gonna log in so long in account so that you can see. So if I submit this right now, card number is incorrect. What is the number? Is it 121212? Okay, let me figure out which one was the demo. Okay. So it's 42442. So it created the payment, and the payment is complete, and you can pick up your order sometime. Which we need to fix. Well, needs to be fixed somehow. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think this will do just perfect right now.
Yeah. Let me just quickly log into. So this would be what you would see in your personal Stripe account when we set this up for you. I hope I remember my login here. Okay, I don't.
Too many passwords to remember.
That's very good.
Yeah, today's world, one of the biggest problems.
It is a big, huge problem.
Okay, I clearly don't remember my password. Or which one I used. Oh, that's the one. Good. So as you can see in the Stripe dashboard, you can specify whether the system is live or you're currently testing it to see if it's working. All right.
All right.
And you can see here the current transaction. I mean the total amount of transaction that you had. I should be able. This last order that I paid now should be here. Or at least payments. When was this? Yes, here it is. So on September 1st, yeah, there we had the order, and it was $118, and here's all the details for the payment. You can refund the user if maybe something went wrong.
Okay. Can you refund all of it, or can you do it partially?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I'm not too. Okay, yeah, you can do a partial refund. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can say, okay, I want to refund 50.
That will solve the problem the previous that we discussed. That
Exactly.
if a customer changes his or her mind,
Yeah,
reduce the number or increase the number. But
definitely.
if you reduce the number, then we can refund it. But I see that this is in dollars. Is it always in dollars, or they also have local currency?
So I know that Stripe is available in Sweden, so they should have support for your local currency there.
All right.
I can quickly double check that. Well, I do know they are available in Sweden. Um, um, where's the country flag there? Yeah. So they are available in Sweden. Okay. And I think in your settings, you should be able to set things like your currency. I hope
Yeah.
they will
Then there should be an option to change it.
Okay. Well, I don't see it anymore, but I don't want to reveal too much of my account here
No.
because we're
Yeah.
recording.
We will. When I create the account, I will be able to find it. No worries.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So that was for the payment. So you can accept payments on the front end application using Stripe, and that is already incorporated with the backend. So as soon as the payment is confirmed, we then go in the backend, and if I refresh this order will disappear. No, it should disappear. Yes, because it was processed already.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So
That's
I think
good.
that's that. So I guess the rest of these ones are bug fixes. Create a menu from the active admin, which is the admin interface. Okay, while creating a menu, it returns that can be blank. I don't remember exactly what was causing that error, but I think it got fixed.
It's been fixed.
I'm not sure exactly what was causing it. I don't remember. There's no comment on that.
It's been a while, so.
Yeah, it's been a long time now. Okay, validate menu presence.
It was definitely a validation error. So.
Okay, so this was a test failure, which was fixed. This one in AA, when a menu that has one or more menus deleted, menu. I believe this is in relation with the fact that we can't delete menus that are linked to each other or something like that, right, Patrick? Oh, there's a screenshot here. Oh. Okay. So this was also fixed. Migration failed. That was fixed. Shafiq, the errors that the stories that I'm accepting now, those are essentially small bugs that we encountered.
Yep. Okay. Just please carry on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the making sausage part that you don't need to look at.
Yeah. Display menu with the greater time range. What is this? If we have a menu, yes, this is the one where it wasn't returning recurring menu as part of the list. Yeah.
Right.
So
All right.
this was fixed. Remove. Okay, this was also an internal thing. So yeah, that pretty much covers the main stuff. Well, that's a lot that we worked on for the past month. Well, actually, it was the month before the vacations. Yeah, that all of that was done. This one here, disable previous menu. as a customer, when I visit, I'd like to see only those that are currently active. Yeah, this is already done as well. Yeah, this was essentially like when you go to the menu, for instance, you can see this menu here says that it's not available. That's because it's ran out of stock, for instance, in the backend. Okay, so this is the weekly special. We still have those 2 items available. I'll go in the backend now and just change the quantity available for this one. Let's close this menu. It's on weekly special. Then we say 0. Wow. We clearly shouldn't be seeing this, right, Patrick?
What are we trying to do here?
I just changed the quantity. And when I update menu, it tells me this.
You changed it to 0. Interesting. Well, that's not something you would expect a user to do, to change it to 0. You'd expect him to delete the item from the menu. It is a bug, but I'm wondering if it's worth fixing versus just don't do that. We can open a bug against that. I can look at that.
Yeah. Okay, so
Can you put in there that the error occurs when you set the quantity to 0 or a negative number? That seemed to be the situation.
well, actually, if you set the quantity to just any number, it does that. So if I set this to, let's say I want to increase, maybe I have more stock. I have more stock as well. If I update, then I get that. Okay.
Were all of those menus created by you by hand recently? Or are there some menus in there from quite a while ago?
It's been there for a while now, I think.
Okay. So I think what's happening is that there's some menus been created before we put some validation in place. And now we've added validation that says a menu item can't be in more than one active menu, as we talked about. But because
Yes,
we've got some menus in there created before we put the validation in, we're running into that problem. But I'll look at it.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Okay, so this is what we get. I'll just assign you to it then.
Yep.
Okay. Let me try on the Tuesday menu. Okay, this works.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to change that. I think. Yeah, we need to figure out why it's doing that on this one only. Okay. But anyway, back to that story. I just changed now the quantity for the item that was part of the Tuesday menu to 0. So if we refresh here, so the item is no longer available, so nobody can order this item. Okay. So this is just to simulate the case where there has been orders placed and you don't have stock available on that specific one. Okay. Shafiq, you still with us?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I was just letting you guys to figure out the bug.
Yeah. Well, we created an issue for that, so we'll look into that later on. But I was able to change the quantity on one of the item. I don't know if you saw that. So on this menu for Tuesday, I was able to update the quantity of that item to 0.
Okay. Yeah.
And then in the front end, when I refreshed it, then said that this is no longer available, as you can see there. Okay.
Perfect. That's good.
So menu is disabled, so we can accept that. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I think we've covered most of those stories. The rest are bugs that needs to be fixed.
That's
some
great.
have already been fixed and not merged yet. Okay.
So what I see is that more or less the whole system is kind of up and running.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
great. That's great. That's excellent
So,
work.
so at the moment, I think probably the only missing piece from what we initially agreed is the reporting system in the administration backend. So, but other than that, it's ready to be used. You can start using it if you'd like to.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm eager to see that in action, in real action. Yeah.
So
how do we proceed from here? What are the next steps?
So at the moment, what needs to happen is if you feel this is something that is ready for you to start using, we can probably help you set up an instance of this backend system somewhere for you to start using, and then I'm not sure exactly how they deal with these cases in Agile Venture, but I guess you would then show you how the whole thing works. Well, you've seen how the system works, but then in terms of maintaining the system and all that, how to go about it, so that you can manage the whole thing.
So that probably I can take with Thomas.
I think so. Yeah, you can most probably discuss it with him, but also I think, and I'm not sure. The ideal situation would be to, right now the source code for this application is available on GitHub. So if let's say it is available there and documented, well, part of it, I guess. Anyone that needs to do something on it, for instance, for the front end application, we have a sample front end application that we've been demoing to you all along. This one here, the source code for this is available. So if when you decide to then go and build the real thing with the company who contract, they can take a look at this code and just try and figure out how to communicate with this backend.
Okay.
I think that will be helpful for them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So all this data and the code will be saved in a folder. So will I receive it like a folder of some kind?
It is available to just. But if you'd like, maybe we can make it available to you. If you'd like it to have it that way, then we could do that. But right now, here's all the source code for the application. It's publicly accessible by anyone. You can modify it as you wish and do whatever you feel is okay for your particular need with it. Okay.
All right. So what I will get at some point is the copy of all these files.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get a link. You'll get a link to access this specific repository. This is the backend application, which you see here, and then the sample front end is this one here. This is the code for the front end application that you see here.
Okay, so everything is kind of ready, actually.
Yeah, everything is there for your usage. Okay. But maybe what we can do then is set up another meeting with Thomas this time, and he'll probably be able to tell you more about it in this instance. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And great, guys. Thanks a lot. It has been really a good project, and I see that it's working now. It's really nice to see that when technology works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Yeah. Great work, guys. Yeah.
So
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
I think right now we're gonna try and fix most of the bugs that are currently occurring in the backend application. As for the front end, myself and Christian, the other developer, were mainly working on the front end, but right now it's been so busy that we don't get time to like extend it with more stuff. But the basic functionalities for the front end application demo were built already, so we won't be. I don't think we'll have much time to expand on that, but we'll try and at least fix the bugs that are currently existing in the backend.
Absolutely. I think it is totally understandable, and you already have been stretching your time as well. So I really appreciate that. But I think one thing that I really would like to have is the names of the guys who have been behind the whole team. It would be good to have their names and contact address, if possible.
I can arrange that.
That will be
Definitely.
Great.
Yeah. I'll arrange for that, and then I'll send you an email with all the details. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
And then I'll set up a meeting with Thomas with regard to the next step of this project. Okay.
Yep. Great.
All right. Okay. I think we've covered most of it now. Patrick, do you have any comment, maybe?
No, I think we're in good shape, and I'm certainly willing to talk to anybody that you may engage to instantiate a different front end, Shafiq, as well as host this maybe on a different hosting environment than we have, maybe on the same, but we can all help out with that transition.
All right. That's great. So it will be great when you send out the email with the team guys and who has done what and or what kind of background they had. So I know whom to talk to for what purpose.
Definitely.
Like Patrick, he just mentioned he can help with the transition and so on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that would be great.
I'll send that this week, most definitely. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Shafiq.
you.
I'll
Thank you.
keep in touch with you, and yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good day and have a good evening.
Okay. Cheers.
Thank you, Shafiq. You too.
Cheers. Bye for now.